This is a perfect segue, by the way, gentlemen, to our first guest of the night, who is in the process of joining us right now. So give him a minute as we tee this up. But because he went a little viral after the Falcons beat the Commanders. The Commanders beat the Falcons in overtime last week. That would be 2024 Ed Block Courage Award recipient with the Washington Commanders. Jeremy Reaves is with us. And Jeremy, just to set the stage, as you were coming in here, we were just talking about Dwayne Clemens' his daughter just got married over the weekend.
No way.
No.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about that conversation that a guy has to have with his girlfriend, then fiance's dad, about asking for your hand. So I'm going to start right there with this. Not even get into your actual engagement on the field after the game. Just how did you approach that conversation, and what were your nerves like?
Well, I mean, it was fairly easy. I've known them for a very long time. So like they've known me. So when I went to them, it was just an honest, like, listen, your daughter makes me, the happiest man in the world. She's my best friend. And pretty much like I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And he was like, 100%. Let's do it.
Did he say?
It's always nice when you have a provider and a protector coming to your house and coming to back, because she's going to be well taken care of. So that always helps.
100%.
Right. Hey, and I let me ditto that. If you know she's bringing another athlete there who's making some money, okay, it's always easy to be like, all right, yeah, man, look, go ahead. Like I said, don't bring her back.
Right.
Don't bring her back. Go ahead.
And Wally, I'm gonna say, like, when you think about your grandkids and your genetics, you sitting there like, yeah, that's a come up right there. That's gonna take the family in a whole new trajectory.
That's within the family business. Let's keep that moving. We like that move.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
I love a battle-tested, war-proven veteran in the family.
Exactly.
No doubt.
So let's get it before we get into being an Ed Block recipient, since we're on the topic of the engagement and whatnot. What during the game, you're completely locked in, but was there ever a moment in the back of your mind where you're going, "Oh my God, I had this all planned out, and all of a sudden, like, if we don't win, I'm not doing this," sort of thing?
Nah, I mean, I already knew that from the jump. Like, I'm a sore loser. She a sore loser. I hate losing. She hate losing. She hate watching losing. She's just not with it. So like, I already knew, like, yeah, we'll pull this game out. This is not happening. So my whole mentality was like, you got to go win this game. So like, I didn't even think about the engagement part of any of it till I got to. They gave me the ring. Before that, it's ball, because that's my job. My job is to go out there and go win games. So, like, I wasn't thinking about anything post-game until that game was over with.
Oh, so this was predicated on the win.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
You had to win in order for it to even go down.
100%. Like that, 100%. Yeah. Because, like, I'm not, after a loss, she know how I am. Like, I ain't trying to talk. I'm trying to go back, get back to the crib as fast as I can and watch all this film and like see what I could have been better at, where we're wrong, all of it. So she know me, so she know how I'm wired. So like, yeah, she knew. Like, I mean, she didn't know about the engagement. She knew that's not, no sir.
Where did you hide the ring, and who was hiding the ring for you during that time? Because I know you didn't have it in your jockstrap.
Nah. So our player engagement girl, Alexis, I had coordinated it all the whole week with her. Everybody knew it was predicated on the win. So she had it, and we basically had it figured out to where she was going to run it down post game before I went up to midfield, dap up the guys from opposite team. So she ran it down to me. And mind you, it's like 60. This was like the warmest December game I've ever played in Washington. It was like 59, 60 degrees almost at 8:20.
Perfect.
So but I had a hand warmer because it was all part of the gig. Like I had to have a hand warmer so I could put the ring in. So I put it when she brought it down. I put it in my hand warmer. I went to the other team. I had some guys over there I knew, got them up, and then I ran over to the wall, and then that's when it. Yeah.
Oh man, you did a great job, man. That was a very special proposal. I mean, not many men get to say they did it in front of 70,000 people,
That's
and
a fact.
especially in a packed Commander's house after you guys have had the best season in I don't know how many decades.
Long
So
time.
it's like that
Long
was
time.
historic. You were never going to be forgotten in the city of Washington.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, it's been cool to see the love that we've gotten, man. It's been super dope to see just the reaction from it all. You know, I mean, I've been here for this is my 7th year here, so like just to see, like you said, we haven't been in the position we're in right now in a long time. So like, it's
Next
cool.
corner.
Facts. So that was a cool moment.
So speaking about that love, your teammates love you well enough that they picked you to be the Ed Block Courage Award recipient for the Commanders this year. What does it mean to you to be an Ed Block Courage Award recipient?
Oh man, it's a blessing, man. I don't take anything for granted. You know, like my journey through the league was probably like majority of the leagues, right? Like everybody always hears about the first round guys and the top guys around the league, but majority of the league is guys that came in like me. So like it was dope to just have that, you know, you go through the storm, you weather the storm, and you come out on the other side, and now you're back to doing what you love at a high level. It's been a blessing, man. You know, I could have done it without my teammates. I had some tough days last year, you know, and they were always there every step of the way encouraging me. So like just to be recognized by them, for them to see the work that was put in, and you know, it's love for those guys.
You know, you said earlier, you know, that the success that Washington has had. You know, you've been there for a while and seen the lows and see
Right.
where you are now, and you know, and to have a quarterback, and I know it's not just him, but to have this kind of turnaround in a year, kind of give us, you know, the vet look at, you know, like, is this real, man? This guy came in and bring just this fresh breath of fresh air to this organization to put it right here in the playoff race, man. You're in the tournament, you never know what happens. So, you
You
know,
never know what happened.
you
Everybody
guys are there.
it's 0-0 in the tournament. But that kid is everything that you see on TV. Everything that you see on TV. He is the truth. And the best part about it is, man, he a man of God and he humble, man. So like the moment's never too big for him because he's rooted in faith. And just to see how he's come in, because it's hard like I've been in the league long enough. You guys know ball, y'all been around it and been in it. It's hard to come in as a rookie and be the guy off the bat, right? And you got all these expectations of just to turn this place around that's been just kind of like in a dark spot for so long. And then here you are, week 18, and you've done that. That's tough. And it's like a unsaid thing that he is the culprit behind, you know, like him, you know, Terry, who's been here for a while, you know, DQ that came in, our coaching staff that we brought in, like they turned this place around, man. Like I've seen it in different forms. This is my third coaching staff, my second owner, like 3 name changes. I done seen it all, right? So like I done see every part of it, right? So like he's earned the right to get everything that he's getting right now because he showed up every day and he's proved it every day. He's came up here, he's been consistent, he's been himself, right? And like he showed up in big moments, man. And that's all you can ask for out of your guy that's, you know, at the head of it all. And so yeah, man, dude is a baller. Dude is a baller. He is everything that you see on TV and more. So like he 100% holds that crown.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry, DC. I want to get to this with Jeremy here because your bio is so fascinating to me. The Eagles bring you in 2018. They cut you. You go to the Commanders or Washington, the Redskins at the time. You grind your way until 2022 when you finally make a 53-man roster. Then you're voted to a Pro Bowl
Mm-hmm.
in 2022. Like, and also named first team All Pro for special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that, your football journey, and did you ever think this is how it would have gone for you?
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy as it sounds, and like I talk about it all the time, and people are like, dang, that's crazy. But like I mapped out my entire from the day I went undrafted, I could tell you where I was at, what I was doing, the last pick of that 18 draft, and when I realized like nobody wanted me. I remember that moment. I remember the next day I cried because I was like, I built up my whole life up to this point, and like I did everything I could and I fell short, right? But then it's like, nah, God using me for something different. And I don't know what that message is right now, but I'm gonna stick to the path. So I did. And so in 2019, this is after my rookie year, I went back home for an event that I had to do, and I was interviewed, and they asked me like, what were my goals after the 2019 or after my rookie year or my second year, so 2019 season, and I told them that my goal was to be a Pro Bowler. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna be a Pro Bowler. And you fast forward a few years later, and there I am, right? So like I knew who I was gonna be before anybody else in the world did. And I kind of had that belief in myself that, you gotta have a test before you had a testimony. That goes for any man or person that's going through any adversity. You gotta walk the path. And sometimes that path can be dark and sometimes it can be uncomfortable. But it's the path God gave to you and it's meant for just you. And so what I went through, what I realized after that 22 season was it it touched so many people because everybody goes through real life moments like that. And so I knew from the get-go that like my story was gonna be a little different and I was gonna have to, embrace the suck, as a coach of mine used to say. And so yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I 100% knew.
That's a down payment on your greatness. So I was with the Minnesota Vikings, and we went through an ownership change. I know a lot of players don't know what it's like to go through an ownership change, but
Right.
we had 9 owners as a group when I was with the Vikings, and it was so dysfunctional. Couldn't make a decision, couldn't get
Mhm.
anything done.
Right.
You've been in a dysfunctional organization, and you know what that's like.
hmm
Take us through the story of what it was like to go through that hell and the adversity of dealing with ownership issues and just the whole lack of organizational control and focus to come into this point now where now you finally have righted the ship, you're selling in the right direction, and the
Right.
skies are blue.
Oh man, it was man, because I was like really confused honestly. Like I came from Philly. I
Mhm.
started in Philly in 18. They were fresh off a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So like
top tier.
right, that's like the pinnacle of like what you try to do. So I left there when I got released from there. I'm thinking that's how the league operates. And then I came here and then I was like I remember calling like my pops back at home, and I was like, "Yo, pop, like I don't know if I'm like tripping right now or if like, but this is like something
Bush
wrong.
league.
Yeah, like this is way out of whack, yo." And it was like it was uncomfortable because I never was a part of anything like that, so I didn't even know how to operate in that space. And it just became a part. It just became so what's the word I'm looking for? It was I
Functional.
compartmentalized a lot of like what was going on and just like it was just ball. I became robotic. I was like, I'm going up here, I'm just going to go play ball and I'm going home. And I kind of just lived that way for like my first 2-3 years up until things started to change. But it was crazy, man. Like I looking back on it now, it was like these young guys here have no idea what this was, bro. Like they walked in, fruits of your labor kind of thing of the people that have came before them, and it's
Yeah.
like they have no idea what this place was just a few years ago. It was totally different.
How do you make a Pro Bowl when your organization is dysfunctional? It's like you come from a place where you're not even drafted, and then you get cut, and then you come to an organization that's completely in shambles and dysfunctional, and you somehow elevate yourself to the highest level.
You just really love football. Like football was just pinnacle for me. Like it didn't matter what was going on around me. Like all that mattered was like when I get on the field, this is what I love to do. And this is my safe space to go express whatever I'm feeling or whatever I'm going through, right? So like that's how I honestly did it, right? It was just like football was first priority under God in my life, and that's all I focused on. Like I was obsessed with it, and low key still am. but the but
Stay that way.
that's how I 100%. But that's how I managed to get to that point. It was just like ball was life. Like that saying, like I was living that. Like I wasn't doing anything. Off season was all ball. Like it was. I would take a week off, and then I would get right back into the weight room, and I'm right back into training, and like that's just how I was programmed.
Well, Jeremy, I got a question for you, man, because I see we all some Florida boys on here. I'm a Tallahassee guy.
Okay, no
So,
Florida, yes sir.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I see you
I
over here from
qualify. I
Pensacola.
lived in Orlando for 5 years.
So I got a question for you. And here's what I want to know I need your honest answer on this, okay?
Okay.
Why is Pensacola Catholic always cheating, man?
Oh,
Look here,
come
man.
on, I want to hear.
Look, you guys are
You must have went to
illegal,
Gabi.
bro.
You a Gabi
Look,
guy?
huh?
You a Ricketts or a Gabi guy?
No, man, I coach at Florida High.
Oh man, I don't want to
Okay,
hear that.
listen. Hey,
Oh no.
listen. Hey, Dave, they have their offensive line, their players. Okay, they're bigger than the Ravens.
Nah.
Okay.
Listen.
They're bringing in ringers.
It's probably true. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing about Florida High though, because every time I done went down and played Florida High, I done always got cheated out of there. Till we moved districts. We went to 5A my senior year. So I don't even want to hear about no Florida High.
So you said they cheat? They the cheaters.
Oh, 1000%. The proof is in the I still got my huddle film from back there. I can show it.
Oh, the eye in the sky don't lie.
Hey, you know what?
It don't.
You know what? I think, Jeremy, I hope you are able to come to the Ed Block Courage Awards in March with all of us, because we do this podcast again. If you do, make sure you have your huddle film, because we will spend time on the.
Let's do a breakdown.
It's all digital now, so look, I can just pull it up on my phone.
There we go. This is called great content.
Wally, you coming for you?
Fellas. We battle. We battle with Pensacola Catholic every year. Every year.
On that broom.
Never fails. Every year.
Good evening, fellas.
We got we've kind of buried the lead. D Brooks is here with us. DB, we got to get ready to let Jeremy go here. So I want to let you.
Man.
He's got to go prepare for
question in.
How long the OG? Talk to me, OG.
Did we talk about your injury at all? I missed it.
No, we didn't.
We talking about
D Brooks.
So first off, congratulations for being, the Ed Block recipient. We look forward to seeing you in March. But tell me a little bit about your injury and what you had to go through when working with Al and those guys in the athletic training room. How was that?
It was a blessing, man. It was I always say, like, it was probably one of the best and worst things that happened in my life as you could probably think. So like I had never been hurt before in my career. I had never had surgery. I played a lot of football, 20 plus years, and never had surgery. God is good, but this was my first one. I ended up tearing my ACL, and I had
last one.
Last one. I tore my ACL, and I had some meniscus damage laterally and medially that they stitched up. So they did operation pretty quick because I had no swelling. We were playing the Bears on a primetime Thursday night game, and I was covering a punt, and it was a non-contact, and I didn't realize I tore it because I tore it while I was running, and then went and made the play after the fact. And then one of the trainers stopped me and was like, I was walking weird, and I was like, I feel fine. But then later on, finds out my ACL's torn. So
it's a lot of adrenaline.
But even the next day, like usually you hear stories about, like guys swell up post ACL tear. They get a lot of different. I didn't have none. So I'm thinking I'm normal. I'm going up and down stairs normally, like I'm fine. So they was like, "No, you gotta have surgery." So
So you didn't have swelling even with the meniscal damage, minimal swelling?
I had nothing. I had no swelling. I had all my normal function. Like I was moving normally, and my swelling. I had zero swelling. I had no swelling, and because usually I guess it's like when you like you said meniscus, like that's you get a lot of fluid after
Right.
you tear that meniscus. But no, but talking with the docs, they said that my my quads and my hamstrings were so strong that I was actually able to stabilize. My knee was able to stabilize because of it. So like they were
So,
like, luckily they saw it because they wouldn't even known. Like
so you're superhuman.
me. I mean, look, listen, my dad was a bodybuilder for 20 something plus years. Okay, so like the genetic gene is just there.
Anybody who can walk up a flight of stairs with an ACL tear is superhuman. I'm just gonna call you superhuman from now.
You see,
I just
Wiley,
that
you remember what we when we was talking about what's the running back in Cleveland? We were talking about
Nick Chubb,
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
Chubb.
Nick
Nick Chubb.
Chubb.
Chubb. You remember we was talking about how he had the good quads and the ham musculature that he wouldn't really have any major problems coming back from it, and I could see same thing coming here. It's having those quads and those hamstrings is paramount.
100%. It'll stabilize you because it did for me.
Right.
Like it
Exactly.
stabilized my knee post it happening. So like I actually was able to recover faster because I came back. I was actually cleared probably like at the 5.5, 6 month mark.
Ah.
Um, but obviously they helped me out because they was doing the precaution. I wasn't trying to hear none of that. Let me go.
So so the 5.5, 6 months, is that because of Al or is that because of your musculature?
Nah, that's a two-party system. Doc says it all the time. It's 50% the surgery and then 50% the rehab
The rehab,
and
right.
100%. So, man, like I would say like those weeks post like surgery, like with Al and the trainers that we had, man, they had me in a phase where like I didn't like them and like but it was the good I didn't like them.
Right.
And
Right.
I love those guys because they pushed me in a way that like I had never been pushed had to be pushed that way before. I'm very self like motivating. I can get myself going, but when you're dealing with something that you never dealt with before, it's kind of hard to get yourself going
Right.
in the sense of like you dealing with something that's unfamiliar, right? You cut me, I know how to respond from that because I've been there, right?
Right.
But getting hurt and having a season injury where I've never had before, that's unfamiliar territory for me. And Al, man, just in that training room with me every day, whether it was just doing the basics of bending my knee or just the basics of like doing leg lifts. And I had to do these quad contractions all the time. I mean, you name it, just rehab, right? Like
Yes.
that was pivotal in me being able to get back because once I was able to start walking, realistically, the rest of it was on me. At that point, they had done the part that they had to do to get me to that point, and then the
Right.
rest of it was on me. But they instilled that mentality of like, listen, every day it's gonna be okay. You just got to get 1% better every day, and they just ingrained that in my mind. So I just appreciated the small victories I was getting every day. And it wasn't just like I was looking a month or two down the road, like, no,
Right.
man, today I'm able to walk. Today I'm able to bend a little bit more. Today I'm able to do this. So yeah, they were pivotal.
So,
All
so you
right,
actually
Jeremy.
felt worse after the surgery than you did before the surgery.
100%. 100%. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. Yeah. I was that man, listen. I went through some days where me and my lady, man, we well, my fiance now, she a trooper because I didn't like anybody, right? Like I was
You were
in
mad at everyone.
pain. I was in pain. I was mad at the world. Why this happened? Why am I going through this? I done been through all this already. Now I'm going through this. And days I also had to sleep on the couch because it was just too uncomfortable to sleep on the bed. And she was right there with me every step of it. I wake up and can't do something, and she waking up before she like, even though she got to go to work the next day, and taking care of me. So like trooper, real one, solid one, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I was definitely in pain post surgery more than pre, for sure.
Sounds like a man that just proposed, to his fiance after a big win in overtime. Jeremy, thank you for taking some time with us. Hopefully we get to see you in March and we get to do this all over again.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, I'm coming to watch you in the playoffs. I live out here in Maryland, so hopefully
Come
I get a
on.
chance to throw you a high side on the sideline.
Come on. Hopefully we got a home game. So definitely.
It's
All
good.
right.
And I probably see you in Pensacola anyway.
Hey, don't be coming up there recruiting nobody up from my parts now.
All right, thanks to Jeremy Reaves.